Hello.
हाँ, okay. Land and building, just last portion, I started land and building method, na? Probably I
Yes,
have
sir.
mentioned
আর
one paragraph,
বলেছিলেন যে
one.
প্রবলেমস অফ ল্যান্ড অ্যান্ড বিল্ডিং মেথড করাবেন, এটা লিখে রাখতে।
Okay, okay. No problem. একটু পরে স্টার্ট করবো, জাস্ট লিখে রাখছি, ল্যান্ড অ্যান্ড বিল্ডিং মেথড। Okay, let me start now. Last day, probably I have given some notes regarding the condition when land and building method is used. Just check it. Uh, Probably I have mentioned that when land is not developed by buildings erected thereon, or where the buildings that are erected do not fully develop the land. এটা কি আমি লিখেছিলাম? সবই চেক করে দেখো তো, প্রবল।
এটা লেখা শুরু হয়েছে when a land is not developed by buildings erected
Yes.
thereon।
Yes. Okay.
এইটা আর শেষ হয়েছিল হচ্ছে এই as the value of property on the rental basis, so land and building method is adopted. This method consists of in ascertaining the
Okay.
either a parameter
Okay,
of
I
the
got it. Now, okay. Now there are two methods normally adopted. Two methods. Landability method under the is the comparative method of valuation. Comparative of valuation. And number two is building method. This comparative method, in this case, we will be comparing while while we'll be given a task for valuation of an asset. Say I've been given the task for valuation of a double-story building in a particular locality. So I can get some information regarding the rent, though which will be assessed by me may not be under any lease agreement. The building is vacant, but I can get some assessment of the rent by comparing other building with respect to this building in the same locality. Say I am just explaining you. So many organizations, they used to rent take they used to uh, occupy different buildings for different purposes, for office, for guest house, for dormitories, others, on rental basis. So for a particular building, the rental to be assessed on the basis of the valuation. So if a building I am interested to use the building on rental basis, and the owner is asking some rent, so whether that is on the basis of fair rent or not, so that may be compared. So I will be searching for similar type of building. What is the rent presently? So that is the comparative method of valuation we will be studying afterwards. But number two method is a building method. It is the related to problems. So we will be starting today problems here. So building method, and thereafter comparative method. They are uh, in a particular locality. In a particular locality, say two buildings are there. One is south facing, one is north facing. You will be finding in Kolkata or in this area, people prefer south facing only for the reason is that on the south of Kolkata, the Bay of Bengal is there, so we'll be getting southern breeze. Okay, so but consider for the case of Andaman Nicobar, it is an island, so there is no particular choice for the south facing. Everywhere that is the Bay of Bengal. Again, in case of a particular building located at the junction of two roads, the valuation is more than a separate building located in the same area, but that is facing only one road. So those will be studied under comparative method of valuation. Okay. Right now, we are going to start this building method. Okay. Building method of valuation. Write down the building method consists in dividing the whole depth of the land into three generally. Normally three, it can be four also. Generally convenient strips or belts known as first belt, second belt, third belt. So here I have mentioned the building method I will show in the sketch consists in dividing the whole depth of the land into three generally convenient strips or belts known as first belt, second belt, third belt. So let me erase. Now let us consider this is a road. Here it is a property, landed property. Okay. Again, here another land is there. Say it is plot A. Now, here what we are doing, say plot B, depth of this is normally it is called width. And this is the now say in comparison to A, the area of B is very less. Okay, depth is also only this much. Say depth is D1. Okay, now the while calculating the valuation of plot A, the entire plot, you see the oh, sorry, the land nearer to the road, this portion, if I construct building in this portion, the occupants will enjoy the road most. But as I go inside inside the plot, say if I construct a building here, the occupiers will not get direct approach of the road. They may use by allowing this much area as a road corridor. So what I want to say that the valuation of the entire plot will not be the same. Valuation of the of this area, let me show of this area, it will be more than the this area. If I consider this one, two, three, and if I construct another building in this portion, last portion, the occupier will have to travel entire path for getting access of vehicle, getting access of the road. So definitely, same logically, the valuation of the this portion will be less. Now here I have mentioned that the building method consists of, again let me draw again afresh. Okay, this is the road, this is the land. The building method consists in dividing the whole depth. The whole depth is this depth of the land into three strips or belt. Say I can draw this is the first belt, this is the second strip or belt, third belt. Normally in three part, I can go for four or five part also, no harm. In three convenient strips or belts, known as first belt, second belt, and third belt. Okay, that much. Now, normally, what is happening? The value of first belt is more than second belt, and value of second belt is more than third belt. Now, let us write. Generally, the first belt is more valuable as compared to as compared to let me erase this portion. As compared to land and the rear, and as one goes inside, the value decreases. Okay, so generally the first build is more valuable as compared to land at the rear, and as one goes inside, the value decreases.
Said if there is the case that the upper side is the south facing wall, so south facing is the number three is getting the south facing
Now,
room.
here in this case, it is not the south facing or north facing. It is only the case of access to the
Only
road. Okay,
okay.
access to the road. Okay, because you see, I will show you. Just let me erase this page. Okay, normally what is happening? Every plot should have some access to the road. Otherwise, how can you use?
Yes, that is the main criteria.
Yeah, say you can say this type of things. This is another type. This may be one road. This may be another road. Now say this is north side. Obviously, it is east, south. In this case, any plot in this case, it is south facing. But now let us forget about this. Let us concentrate on this side, this road. You see. So each and every person who is having plot in along this road, say this is one, this is two. There's separate owner one, two. It is another plot three. Everybody is having some access to the road. Okay. Now for smaller plot, no problem. But if I have large plot and if I want to divide the plot, see now I am interested to sell the plot. Okay. Now I have so this some person I may not get frequent buyers in case of large plot. You see large plot, it will be more costly. If the plot is small, then I can get so many buyers because though the rate may be the same, but due to quantum of land being small, the amount will be small. So for for one and three, there will be so much buyers. For two, there will be less buyer. So in that case, I may divide the plot. Chalo. So I will construct like this. I'm showing with another ink. I will I will declare this as a road within my land, and then I will say this is A plot, B plot. Now, definitely, the person who will be purchasing A plot, they will be eager to pay more than the persons who will be eager to buy B plot because A plot just they are getting they getting the approach of the road, and B plot owner they will be using only this corridor. It may be maximum 10 foot. So as I go inside, the rate of the plot is being decreased. Okay. Now, now how much decreasing? Because it is also another way. Government has given some concession for valuation. Say this is my property, landed property. So uh, it is mentioned that here it is building A, here it is building B. So since building A is just getting the approach of the within the first land, first build, so the valuation of the building will be more. Since the valuation of the building is more, they will have to pay more wealth tax. Now consider B. Valuation of B building, though A and B both are of equal area, equal height, same spec, same quality, same. But due to the position, A is getting the approach of the direct access of the road, and B is using road through this passage. So due to this position, the valuation of B is less. Since the valuation of B is this building is less, the occupier will have to pay lesser amount. Now, how much? What will be our consideration if the price of A is X, say rupees X per square meter, rate of A. Okay. Now, it is assumed that if the first build price rupees X, then second build price it will be two-third X, and third build it will be half X. Okay. So I'm going to just write down these things. Say if the rate of first build, if I consider rupees X, then definitely rate of second build it will be two-third X, and rate of third build it will be half X. It is assumed. Now next question. Now what will be the depth of first build? Say this is first build. Depth I consider. Say if I consider first build depth D1, D1 depth is very important. Being a professional valuer, I will have to fix the depth of D1 on the basis of any evidence. Evidence means, say, I told on the last day also, let me recapitulate that why we are using land and building method. Because in the urban area, we are getting rental evidence. So we are using rental method. But in the rural area, I also, I don't know whether I have given that example. During my early life, I was in Mejia. Mejia, that is Dullopur area, a remote place. That time that was remote place. Nowadays, it is a very famous power plant. So I am talking about uh, almost 35 years back. That time it was totally barren land. Only a small village was there. So my organization DVC, they started setting up the power plant. I was the first engineer who was posted there. So when I reached the site, along with my other colleagues, say two surveyor, one junior engineer, these were my entire batch, my entire team. So we did not find any such building for occupying. So we started searching some building in the village area. So accordingly, in the village area, one Mr. Goswami, he was agreed to allow us to stay in his building against the lease agreement. Okay, in that case, he will be leasehold and we will be leasee. Now, since I am working in a government organization, so anybody cannot ask any rent from DVC. Okay, so he asked some rent, and that was we started comparing the rent. Say he was asking for rupees 10,000 for the entire building that time per month. Say so it will be easier for me if I get some evidence of this type of, say, some bank building. I went to the bank building, bank owner, the landlord of the bank building. I asked how much you are taking. for the bank. He told me that bank since inception, means I am talking about 30 years back history, and that time he was telling me that Bank of India, they set up another 20 years back. So that time it was only 1000 per month. So 1000 per month, I cannot compare it with my asking rate of 10,000 per month. Okay, so in these cases, and also the owner of my means my landlord, he was having vast area also within the boundary wall. So he told me, if you want to stay here, you will have to pay the rent for the entire property, means the vacant land and building. So for land, we'll have to do some calculation. What will be the value of the land? Now at that time, we went to the registry office. Any registry office, there I will be getting some evidence at what price land is being purchased or sold. So from that, I got some information that normally land adjacent to the road having depth 30 to 40 meter, those lands are being sold or purchased. Hmm. So I got some information that for 30 meter, if I consider D1 as 30 meter, then I may get some information that what are the rates for selling the land. So the registered, he supplied me the the rates. At what rate those lands were sold. So accordingly, since the lands were sold on an average depth of 30 meter, so let me consider here my first build as 30 meter depth. Because in that case, I can adopt the rate for first build, exactly the rate at which some other land was sold. This is my intention. So say, if I consider that rate of A, X, how can I consider this? Because I have taken the X rate from that instance. Yes, some two or three plots recently means within a span of last 1 year, it has been sold or purchased, and the average rate was say 0.9x, 1.1x, and on an average, it may be considered X. So I have adopted X for the first build. What will be the depth? Those plots were having depth some 27 meter, some having 30 meter, some having 32 meter. So on an average, I took 30 meter. So if I consider 30 meter depth, D1 is 30 meter, and X the rates, then I can easily calculate what will be the D2. D2, it is mentioned, we are considering the depth of the second belt should be 1.5, the depth of the first belt. And D3, it will be 1.5 into 1.5 D1. Means if I consider D1 is the depth of the first belt, depth of second belt is 1.5 times depth of the first belt, and similar third belt depth is 1.5 depth of the second belt. Okay, now let us write. Okay, now if x be adopted, oh, sorry, rupees x, I must write if rupees x be adopted as the value of first build, then value of second build, it will be 2 third x, and value of third build, half x. Now one thing, in your exam, you can consider this if nothing is mentioned. But sometimes it may be mentioned that value of second build may be considered as half the value of the first build. In that case, you straightway go for adopting value of second build as half x. Okay. If nothing is mentioned, you can assume that we are assuming value of the first build is x, second build 2/3x, third build half x. I have already told on the first or second occasion that in valuation there is no discrete value. It is an attempt to the best of the knowledge of the valuer to assess valuation, the fair value of a property. More important thing is what things we have considered. If you consider that the second bill to be valued as two-thirds of the first bill, you are right. If I consider and if I record it, if I mention in the valuation report that I have considered half of the first bill with the rate of second bill, I am also right. So here we have considered if first bill is x, second bill two-thirds x, third bill x by 2. Similarly, let me erase this place. If the depth of first weld D1, then depth of second weld 1.5 D1 and depth of third weld 1.5 into 1.5 D1. Now, it should be mentioned the depth of first weld, it is important, depends upon the depth of the land in a comparable instance of sale and on demand. Let me repeat. If the depth of first build equal to D1, then depth of second build 1.5 D1, depth of third build again 1.5 into depth of second build, that is 1.5 D1. So it is coming 1.5 into 1.5. Now the what do I mean, how I'm going to assess the depth of first build? Depth of first build depends upon the depth of the land in a comparable instance of sale and on demand. This means I must obtain some information that yes, there was a transaction, there was a sale of land in the vicinity, and what was the rate and what is the depth of the land that should be known to me. If I know that, then I can adopt that particular rate as a rate of first build and that particular depth as depth of the first build. It is that has been mentioned here that the depth of first build depends upon the depth of the land in a comparable instance for sale and on demand. Definitely, there should be demand for that type of land. It is not the case. Say sometimes we are finding that say some in some area suddenly prices of the land is being increased because may government may government may think for setting up an industry. So some people who are getting the information, oh, in that locality, government will be setting up a industry. So the prices of the land will be more within a very just within 1 to 2 years. So let us purchase some land so that during that period we will be selling at a higher price. Okay, but often it is found that though government was thinking for that, but the case could not be materialized. Even in that case, Now, some people have already purchased some land. At that time, they're thinking that it will be of high demand, but if no industry is coming up, then there will be no demand. So, in that case, I should not consider particular that land. It is mentioned that there must be comparable instance of sale and the land should be on demand. Let me delete this page. Demand for similar land in the locality. The depth of, oh, that is mentioned already. Now, another thing, recess land. Thereafter, we'll be going to start problem. Again, I am telling you, each and every year, normally in the exam, for offline exam, you will have to answer 5 questions, each having 20 marks. Normally,
স্যার
when
ওই ওই কম্পারেটিভ মেথড অফ ভ্যালুয়েশনটা
করাবো করাবো this is just I have started building method because it is consisting of some problems. So let me first of all complete the problems. Okay. Thereafter I'll be going for comparative method because that is only theory. I'll be explaining all those things. No problem. Okay. But today totally we'll be doing these problems under building method. And for building method, this research land is required. Okay. It is not a separate topic. This
ওকে স্যার
particular knowledge is required for solving the problem in building method. Okay. Now, what I was trying to say you need to give a reply answer of 5 questions out of 6 or 7, whatever may be. Now, out of the 5 questions, so if 6 questions are given or 7 questions, one entire one and another half means 20 and 10, 30 numbers questions will be from this rental method and building method. So we must learn rental building method. Apart from this, for interview, when you will be facing the interview also, if you say, yes, we are taught valuation, definitely somebody will be asking, কি method valuation শিখেছো বলো? You'll be answering rental method, land and building method. Then they'll be asking, just tell me the philosophy of land and building method. You did not solve any problem. How you are considering D1, D2, D3. So this is the reason why I have explained all these things. Okay. Now this is land. Now if I consider, normally you see it is a road and say it is my plot. Now this plot is not a regular shape. Say this portion, triangle portion, due to the triangle portion, the plot is becoming irregular. Say in case of this, if I had this plot, say it is A, it is B. For B, you are perhaps aware that for construction of any building or structure, you will have to keep some space at the back, at the front, at the sides. Okay. For B, say if I want to develop the entire plot by constructing the building, so here I can leave this space. So I can construct in this way. The entire area can be used for building. The front space, depending upon your height of the building and width of the road, normally it is not two of 2 meter, 1.5 to 2 meter. Back space also 2 meter to 3 meter, depending upon the number of storage. Side space 1.2 meter. So you can construct this much of building. But if you are allotted this plot A, and again you are going to construct this area, this was building, then you see unnecessary you had to keep some this area unutilized. The back portion, these are required by the government, by the corporation or municipality, but this portion, this triangle portion, this you are not able to use in a prudent way. Means minimum expenditure, maximum benefit. Not in that case. If at all you desire to use this land also, then you will have only this option, that this building, stepping building like this. Then you can use the entire. In that case, you will have to bear additional expenditure. Okay. So for particular these cases, this tax collection authority, because valuation is totally dependent upon the tax collection authority. There are so many purposes of valuation. The most important purpose is the wealth tax, property tax. These are okay. So they have given some discount that you can consider this triangle portion as recess land, and the value of the recess land will be three-fourth the value of original land. Say if value here x, okay, let me erase something. Say, say if it is x for A, it is x for B, then the recess, the value will be three-fourth x. Means some little bit lesser. Okay, this is a discount given by the government authority to the common people, because since the land is irregular, he cannot use optimally. So the valuation will be made at a lesser amount. So this is the research land. Let us write now. Okay. Again, we'll be explaining while we'll be doing the problem, because from the first problem we'll be facing this uh, this type of research land. Now research land. Right now, it is the area bounded by a plot boundary and a perpendicular. This is perpendicular drawn from the junction of the said boundary wall, not boundary wall, boundary, say boundary with the road line, with the road line. Let me draw. Say it is a road. The plot is like this. I am considering this as a recess land. Why? It is mentioned. Let me start. It is the area bounded by a plot boundary. Definitely, the plot boundary is this plot boundary, and a perpendicular drawn. Perpendicular. If I draw this perpendicular, this is the boundary. No need of drawing perpendicular. So I can draw perpendicular from here or from here. Perpendicular drawn from the junction of the said boundary with the road line. This is the junction. It is junction of the with the road and the boundary. This is the boundary, and so I am drawing one perpendicular like this. So this portion, this hatch portion, it is bounded by the boundary as well as the perpendicular. This portion of the land is called recess land. road land. Let me erase, okay? Now, if, okay, it is valued at 3/4 the value of the build in which the recess land lies. What does it mean? As I have shown you, so let me draw another plot, irregular shape. So two boundaries are here, one here, one here. So let me draw like this: first build, second build, third build. So here it will be recess land, say R1. It is R dash 1. So here it is mentioned it is valued 3/4. So uh, if front build, first build value be x, then value of R1 will be 3/4 x. Similar here also 3/4 x. Now if first build is valued as x, then second build will be 2/3 x here built, and recess land it will be valued as 2/3 x into 3/4. Third build normal value is half x. Now recess land value is, it is the value as half x into 3 by 4. It is mentioned here. It is valued at 3/4 the value of the belt in which the recess land lies. I think it is clear to you. Now we'll be going to start the problem. Okay. First problem. A plot of land measuring about measuring about 3570 square meter has been sold for rupees 25 lakh, and adjoining plot B has been recently sold at rupees 900 per square meter, having a frontage of 27 meters and a depth of 40 meters. Analyze plot A by building method. In addition to this, the sketch will be given in the problem. I am drawing the sketch. Let me repeat here. A plot of land measuring about 3570 square meter has been sold for 25 lakh. An adjoining plot B has been recently sold at rupees 900 per square meter, having a frontage of 27 meter and a depth of 40 meter. Analyze plot A by building method. Let me delete this please. Okay. The road. Mhm. Let me draw correctly. Okay. Just no, no, no. Now this is plot A. Another plot B. Now plot A, in the problem it will be given that it is mentioned in the problem that plot B is having frontage of 27 meter. So plot B, it is 27 meter, and in your case the frontage is 30 meter. It is given. Again, depth of plot B mentioned in your problem 40 meter, and it will be given in the exam in your problem that this depth is 62 meter. Okay. Here this is also mentioned 10 meter. Yes, this much is given in the problem. Let's draw this thing. Okay. Now, in this case, the instance of sale, the rate of plot B is given 900 rupees 900 per square meter. And the depth is also given 40. So, since this rate is, we are going to adopt this rate for the first build, so we have considered, incidentally, it is matching with this diagram. So, we have considered up to this as the first build. And this is the second build. Okay, this is the first build. Okay, let me write. Second build. Now, we know that if I consider 40 meter as the first build depth, then second will be D2 will be, but second will be 1.5 into D1. Here D1 is the 40 meter. 40 into 1.5 means it is 60 meter. So, according to our theory, the second build should come up to this. 60 meter. But since it is only 2 meters left, so I have considered, instead of going for third belt, I have considered the entire as a second belt. Is it clear? If you want to do in that fashion, no, I'll consider 2 meter strip as third belt, you're also correct. You'll have to mention. But since in comparison to 60 meter, 2 meter is not a big factor. So I have considered the entire balance 62 meter as a second belt. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Area, the what now, don't write now. Just let me explain you. We'll be doing area of first belt, again area of R1. Okay, in my sketch, just again I'll have to draw the sketch. So this was first belt, it was second belt. So right here, it is the recess line of first belt. It is the R1 and it is the recess line of belt 2, R2. Okay, since it is the recess line of first belt, so I am mentioning it as R1 and it is as R2. So for I will have to mention here area of not first belt. Let me correct here. Area of 1 plus area of R1. Okay. Again for second belt, area of 2, area of R2. Then I will have to do value of 2, value of R2. So instead of doing all those things, just we are trying to do it in a shortcut manner. Let me explain you. Say first belt. I can write equivalent area. What is equivalent area? Means you'll be getting, just let's start. The area of 1 is 30 meter by 40 meter. Let's take it. Plus area of recess 1. It will be half into 40 into 10 into, already we came to know that for recess line, the value will be three-fourth the value of the land in the same belt. Instead of converting, but just changing value at every time, let me consider three-fourths here. Then the result will be, we can call it is the equivalent area. If it is clear, say. If it is not clear, let me explain again. Alternatively, what I can do, that, okay, let me do here area of 1 equal to 30 into 40, 1200 square meter. Area of 2 equal to half 40 into 10. How much? 200, no? Again, value of 1, it will be 1200 into 900. Jazbe. Value of 2, no, value of 2, no? Sorry, value of R1.
R1.
No, he was correct, no? আমার তো ভুল হয়ে গেল। ভ্যালু অফ আর টু 200 into 900 into 3 4. Normally it can be done, no problem. If you want to
ওখানে
do in
ভ্যালু
this
অফ
fashion,
টু হবে এটা, হ্যাঁ ভ্যালু অফ টু, মানে হ্যাঁ ভ্যালু অফ টু,
no,
তিন
value of
নম্বর
R2.
লাইনটা, ভ্যালু আর টুর ওপর
Oh,
ভ্যালু অফ টু।
no, let me check again.
ওই তিন
The
নম্বর
area
ভ্যালু
of
অফ ওয়ান লেখা আছে, ওটা ভ্যালু অফ টু হবে শুধু।
no, value of 2 can value of 1 is হবে. Area of 1 is 30 into 40, 1200. So value of 1 will be
আচ্ছা,
1200 into 900. Okay.
ও আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
And uh, and I have not, because I am right now I am going through the first build only. I have not started in the second build. Okay. So it is again area of R1 half 40 into 10, 200 square meter. Value of R1 will be 200 into 90 into 3/4. Now instead of multiplying every time with 900, what I did here, equipment area is the, because entire thing is being done with respect to the main land in the first build. So I have written 30 into 40. This is the area of 1, and area of recess R1 is the half 40 into 10 same, and multiplication, this factor I am multiplying here. Now just tell me this, what is coming? How much? 1200 plus, বলো একজন করে কত আসছে?
1 3 5 0,
Yes.
মানে টোটাল, আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
Okay.
ওকে টোটাল করে দিয়েছিলাম।
No, no problem, no problem. It is
মানে ওটা,
1350.
হ্যাঁ ওটা আসলে
Yes.
দেড়শো, হ্যাঁ।
This much. Now, if you multiply 1350 with 900, you will be getting the same result as of the here. Just, just take it. Uh, just let me write here some space. I need some space. Let me delete this thing. Now, 1350 into down 900. How much it is coming?
সেটা 1215 000।
121500. Okay. Now here, just tell me value of 1.
স্যার ট্রিপল জিরো ওটা, জিরো জিরো, আরেকটা
uh,
জিরো নেই।
yes. And bottom in the conventional method, value of 1 and value of R2. Value of 1 is 10800, no? Uh, uh, 00. Just calculate this thing. Value of 1 plus value of R2. Right? Value of not R2, R1. Value of 1 plus value of R1. It should be the same result as 1215 000.
So value of R1 is 135000.
Value of,
R1 is 135000.
okay, then value of 1, 1080 000, the summation.
Say 121500. What I guess.
So the value is coming same. Now it is your choice. You can do in this fashion, but it will be taking a little bit time, or you can do adopting equivalent area. So আমায় একটু জেনে নিচ্ছি, anybody, কমল বুড়াই, মুন্সি নাজির, প্রলয় জানা, সৌমদীপ, if anybody having any query regarding this equivalent area, you can ask me, no problem. Because in the exam, for a complicated problem, it will be easier to do in this fashion equivalent area. Munshi নাজির হাসান।
ইয়েস স্যার, স্যার বুঝতে
ঠিক
পেরেছি।
ঠিক আছে, বুঝতে পেরেছি?
হ্যাঁ,
হ্যাঁ বলো, আরে একটু বললে তো আমারও ভালো লাগবে।
হ্যাঁ
আমি
হ্যাঁ
বুঝতে
স্যার।
পারছি। কমল, কমল বুড়াই, বোঝা গেছে তো? আচ্ছা, তো নাও, ওকে, নাও equivalent area of second belt. Now for second belt, equivalent area will be. Now tell me, what will be the equivalent area? Second belt, we have studied value of the second belt will be two-third of the value of the first belt. So two-third, let me write outside the bracket. Now inside bracket. Because the entire thing, the main land as well as recess land, all the land, the two land lying in the second belt. So two-third into, now it is the 62 into 30 plus half, oh, oh, half into 10 into 62. Oh, it is not eligible. Into 3 by 4, because this is 2 and this is R2. So R2, 3 is recent, so 3 by 4. Just, is it clear? Just tell me. If not, then again we will have to explain. It is 2, it is for R2. Then tell me the value. What will be the equivalent area? It is square meter. Don't forget to mention the units also. How much? সৌভিক, বলো, এর ভ্যালুটা কত আসছে?
sir, 1395.
1395 meter square. So total equivalent area is coming as this plus previous one. Previous one কি আমরা ভ্যালু দিয়ে গুণ করেছিলাম?
Yes, sir.
Oh, then okay, then it is not required. Just we want to calculate, that is value of second belt. 1395 into 900. How much?
Sir, 125550 zero.
Rupees
One two triple
one
five
two.
double zero. Triple five double zero.
Okay. So value of the second belt. So write down, then total value. Summation of the two.
2470500.
24.
70500.
Okay. Now, in the problem, it is mentioned that plot A has been sold at a price of rupees 25 lakhs. Now we have calculated the value. What should be the value of the plot A? It should be 24 lakhs 70,500. So since it was sold at a price of 25 lakhs, so it was sold at a higher rate. So conclusion, selling rate is higher than market value. Since rupees 25 lakhs greater than is 24.705 lakh. Okay, this is one conclusion. Now analysis. Now we can analyze this. Our total price is rate per square meter. Our rate is coming as rupees 2470,500. Divided by the area of the land. What is the area of the land? If I don't consider equivalent area, that's total area of the land. That just calculate.
Two seven four five.
Area of the
মানে
land.
রেন্ট মানে ফার্স্ট যে ল্যান্ড এরিয়া বেরিয়েছিল সেকেন্ড ইকুইভ্যালেন্ট ল্যান্ড এরিয়া দুটো সাম
No, not equivalent. Actual area.
অ্যাকচুয়াল এরিয়া
Actual area because if I divide by the equivalent area, then 900 rupees will come. Because I have converted it into equivalent area with the help of 900.
অ্যাকচুয়াল এরিয়া উইল বি 30 ইন্টু 102 প্লাস হাফ ইন্টু 10 ইন্টু 102 of land A, area of land
Land
A.
A plus land A and land B. Land A, not B. But the first band
Okay,
and second band. It
okay.
is just a minute, okay?
3570.
Oh, what is the area? 3570 square meter.
Say one three say 3570 meter
Yeah,
square.
yeah. Now you just, I
3570.
advise you to calculate the, already the area has been given in the problem. You check it. I've mentioned. Just whether our diagram is correct or not, that's why I told you to check. In a problem, it is given that plot of land measuring area about 3570. So you in the exam you need not calculate area. It will be given. Now only thing is that analysis will be here. It will be this 24705 this divided by 3570. What is coming? Just tell me. কত আসছে? হ্যালো, কত আসছে এটা ডিভাইড করলে? সবিক, হ্যাঁ, কত বললে? 69222 692.016. Yeah, rupees per square meter. Now you see, we have adopted the rate of 900, which was the rate of B, rupees 900 per square meter. But since it is a larger plot, we have considered this two-third X, half X, as well as some portion as a recess land. So ultimately the rate is coming for the entire plot, it is coming 692. This is the analysis. I can go further also. I can calculate what will be the actual, what is the actual area of first belt, what is the actual area of second belt. So rate of first belt, rate of second belt, I can also calculate. Okay, but at least what is the total area has been given in the problem, 7530. So, and the value we have calculated, the divided by area is coming 692.016. So, so it is a little bit lesser than the rate of 900. So analysis, if it is asked, analyze. So you must do, the total valuation is 24,70,500 and area is given as this. So rate per square meter, this. Okay, this was the value analysis. Now number two, next problem. Next problem is this. Value the following land. This is given. So here, this dimension is given as 60 meter. It is given 150 meter. It is given 140 meter. It is mentioned 55 meter, and it is 35. Meter. Now we will be calculating. Oh, well, now, so it will be calculated as this. This portion will be 140 minus 60. It is coming as 80 meter. Meter. Some information has been given. Given that land to a depth of 60 meter. Now I'm deleting this. Okay. Land to a depth of 60 meter in the area is valued at rupees 500 per square meter, and second bed value is half the value of first bed. This much is the problem. So in this case, it is clearly mentioned that the value of the second bed is half the value of the first bed. So we need not consider 2/3 x as the value of the second bed. Okay. So let me start. Sorry. In that figure, let me again draw the figure. So let us assume, let's say it is area A, B, C, D. Now it is mentioned in the problem that land to a depth of 60 meter in the area is valued 500 per square meter. In my case also, in a case, the it is up to 60 meter. So definitely we'll be considering A and B both in the first belt and C and D in the second belt, because we'll be adopting the rate of 500 per square meter rupees from that land which is having a depth of 60 meter. So first belt, equivalent area. So let me erase this page, okay? Equivalent area is what is coming? 60 meter by 60 meter plus half 60 into 35 into 3/4. Okay, tell me the value. Similarly, second belt, equivalent area, what will be the equivalent area? Munshi, for the second belt,
Sir, for the first belt, 4387.5.
4387.5 square meter, na? Okay.
Yes, sir.
The second belt, it is equivalent area is coming 80 meter by 60 meter. Oh no, we must write half outside bracket. Then 80 meter into 60 meter plus 3/4 into, it is 55 and 35, it is coming 90. 90 meter into 80 meter. Is it clear? Because this 90 meter is the this length of the C, 55 plus 35, 90, and depth is 80 meter. So what is the figure? কত আসছে?
Sir, 5100. স্যার আপনি মিউট আছেন।
ও হ্যাঁ, টোটাল ইকুইভ্যালেন্ট এরিয়া তুমি যোগ করে দাও। 9487 5 square meter. এটা তো আসছে তো?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Total given area. Then value. Value at the top I am writing equal to 9487.5 into 500 rupees. How much it is coming? Rupees কত? বলো।
Sir,
হ্যাঁ,
4743,750.
yes, rupees 4743,750. So এটা হয়ে গেল, সেম প্রবলেম। Now third problem. Write down. A property of land is shown in figure. It consists of an old two-storied building having a cubical content of 2840 meter cube. Assuming prime cost of construction of the building equal to rupees 5,000 per meter cube. and allowing 10% old material value only for the building what would you recommend? Acha, let me repeat, okay? Then this page will be deleted. A property of land, a property of land is shown in figure. I'll be showing. Now, it consists of an old two-storied building. It is the actually land and building method problem. Because in the previous two problem, we calculated only the value of the land. Now here one building is also there. It consists of an old two-story building. Old, the word old is very important. It is mentioned it is not a new one, old. Having a cubical content of 2840 meter cube. Let me explain cubical content. Normally, if I multiply the height of the building, height of height of uh, every floor. Okay, say I'm having a building of having area 900 square meter. If height of the per floor is 4 meter, the 900 into multiplied by 4, 3600 will be the cubical content for a single floor. If it is having similar height, if it is having similar height on having 3 floor, then 3600 into 3. So cubical content is the more accurate method. In print area, we are not getting the information regarding the height of the building. Some building may have height of 3 meter, some may have height of 3.5, even some may have height of 4 meter. Even for the office building, it may be of 5 meter. So cubical content means print area into height. So here it is mentioned that cubical content is 2870, 2840 meter cube. It is not mentioned per floor. So we should consider the total cubical content. Okay. Assuming prime cost of construction. Prime cost of construction, prime cost it is a terminology from the accounts, means cost of raw material, cost of direct labor, this much. Prime cost of construction of the building 5000 per square per meter cube. Since I have mentioned the cubical content in terms of meter cube, so we have given the rate in terms of meter cube and allowing 10% old materials value only for the building. এর মানে কি? That means আমি জমিটাতে বার করব অ্যাকর্ডিং টু দিস বিল্ডিং মেথড, কিন্তু বিল্ডিং এর ব্যাপারে আমার কিউবিকের কন্টেন্ট it is given 2840 meter cube. So if I multiply 2840 with 5000 per meter cube, then I will be getting the cost of reconstruction, the cost of reproduction of the building. ওরকম একটা নতুন বাড়ি করতে কত লাগে? But it is mentioned it is very old building and allow 10% old materials value only. That means you should consider the scrap value only. So whatever will be the value of the building, we must take 10% of the value of the building, that is a scrap value, which will be added to the value of the land. Okay, nothing else. Only for the building, what would, let me delete. What would you recommend? As the fair value of the, you see, I have not mentioned land of the property, means land and building. If the front build land depth of front build being 25 meter be estimated at rupees 900 per square meter. What I have mentioned here, recommend as the fair value of the property if the front build land, it is mentioned, front build land, depth of front build being 25 meter, it is given, be estimated as rupees 900 per square meter. This was given. Now I will draw the sketch will be given, the figure of this will be given in the problem. You will have to solve the problem. Very easy. Only thing is that the rules of similar triangle will have to be applied. Let me draw the figure. Let me delete this page. Now this will be the figure. Road. Oh, again, let me delete it. Yes. Now this is the figure. Now dimensions are being given 80 meter, it is. Now in the problem it is mentioned that front depth of front build 25 meter. So let me draw this 25 meter is the first build. So accordingly, second build depth will be 25 into, so here let me write depth of first build 25 meter. So depth of second build 1.5 into 25, coming 37.5. লিখেছো এটা? So এটা হচ্ছে 37.5 and balance I am not going to calculate balance total. Oh, total depth should be given in the problem. It will be given, it is 180 meter. It is given in the problem. In the problem, depth of first build, second build is not given. Just we have assumed depth of first build, since depth of front build rate has been given as 25 meters, so I consider 25 meter is the first build. Second belt depth 1.5 into 25 meter, coming as 37.5. And third belt 180 meter minus this, it is coming as 117.5. Now it is first belt, this is second belt, third belt. Similarly, if I consider this is R1, R2, R3. Now, yes, this much information will be given in the problem with the problem. Okay. First of all, calculation is very easy. Only thing is that you see this R1, this portion. If I consider X, because base of the triangle is given 25 meter, height of the triangle X, and for R2, if I consider this portion as Y, so I'll have to calculate X and Y. What is the value of X with the help of similar triangle? Okay. এটুকু অবধি লেখা হয়েছে সবার? প্রবাল, ডান? Okay. Let me clear. Okay. Now, solution. Say, plot. In tabular form, I can write also area, it is square meter, equivalent area, square meter. Plot. I mentioned 1. And the area of plot 1, 60 into 25. It's coming 1500 square meter. Equivalent area, same. So, area of 2, it is coming 37.60 into 37.5, 2250. Equivalent area is 2/3 into 2250 is coming as 1500. 3. 60 into 117.5. It is coming. Oh, let me check. Just let me check. 1 minute, okay? Let me adjust again. Screen sharing. Yes. Now it is coming. Area of 3, 60 into this, it is 7050 square meter. So it will be half into 7050. It is coming 3525. Up to this, it is okay. Now, for area of R1, R2, and R3, we have considered x, no? So I can write in this fashion x by uh, it is x by, how much this is x, yes, x by 20 equal to x by 20 equal to 25 by 180. Just take it whether from similar triangle. Say if I consider for build 1, I have considered the vertical perpendicular as x, perpendicular divided by the base x by perpendicular, and for the entire triangle it should be 80 minus 60. Let me draw here to explain you. So it is x by, and this is 20, because the entire is 80, it is mentioned 60, so it should be 20. So x by 20 equal to, here not 250, 25. It will be, this portion has been mentioned as 25, 25 divided by entire. Is it okay? From similar triangle. আমি লিখতে পারি তো এরকম? কি হলো? আমার শোনা শোনা লেখা যাবে তো? x by 20 equal to 25 by 180. Then x is coming. কত আসছে x বলো? x কত আসছে? কেউ তো বলছে না তো? 2.7, ওকে, গুড। 2.77 মিটার, ওকে। x যদি হয়, সিমিলারলি আমি এটা ডিলিট করছি, করে y বার করছি। y y by y by 20, similarly y by 20 equal to 37.5 plus 25 divided by 180. So y, how much y? So y is coming as কত আসছে y?
Sir, 6.94.
হ্যাঁ, 6.94, ওকে। 6.94. Only this calculation is addition. Okay. As we have obtained, let me delete this portion. Now I can write here and R1. Got R1. The area now it is coming half into 25 into x. X we obtained 2.77. No, 2.77. How much is coming? R1. বলো কত আসছে এটা?
Sir, 34.625.
34.625.
625.
Okay. Then equivalent area will be, since it is recess land, it will be 3/4 into 34.62. How much it is? Nearly
Sir, কি
25.
থেকে বিয়োগ করছি?
Now, Bhuvna, this is R1 34.625 is the is the, it is the area of R1. Since it is recess land, so equivalent area I should multiply by 3/4.
Yes, sir.
Huh? So 3/4 into 34.625. So how much it is coming?
Sir, 25.97.
25 point. Okay, 97. Good. Now R1 হয়ে গেল R2. R2 area is, now it is a rhombus, no? Rhombus,
Sir, trapezoid.
trapezoid. So I should do this fashion. It should be what is very 6.9, no? 6.9 plus 2.6, 2.7 into the distance is 37.5. How much is coming?
Sir, 180.
Huh? কত?
Sir, 180.
Up to 180. Okay. Then equivalent area, it will be
135.
180 into 2/3 into 3/4. No,
ও টু থার্ড হবে না?
2/3 into 3/4. Tell me.
স্যার 90.
90. Okay. So only left is R3. R3, define, if I delete this portion, R3. R3 comes as, it is, again it is trapezoidal. So it is going 2.77 plus, no, 2.7, no. It is coming as Y value 6.9. Okay. Let me write 6.9 plus 6.9 plus 20 by 2 into, it is 117.5. How much it is? কত আসছে এখানে?
Sir, 1580.375.
1580,
Point 375.
তাহলে 1580, আচ্ছা পয়েন্ট 80.2, আচ্ছা 0.2, ওকে। Then equivalent area will be, let me delete this portion, R1 portion,
1580.4 ধরা যায়।
4, okay, 4 করো, 2 করো, then equivalent area will be 1580.4 into it is in the third belt means half and recess 3/4. What is the value? Actually,
So 592.65.
592.65. Okay. Then total equivalent area, just summation of all. Tell me. অঙ্কটা হয়ে গেছে এখনই। Then total equivalent area equal to 1, 2, 3, R1, R2, R3. Summation of 6 figure.
So 7233.62.
Yes. 7233.62
62.
square meter. Then value equal to this multiplied by, already is given rupees 900. তাই তো? আমি উপরে আবার লিখি, ভ্যালু ইকুয়াল টু 7233.62 into 900, কত?
6510258.
Yes, just mention 65 rupees 6510
253.
253.00 165 lakhs 10,253.9. Okay, so this is not the end of the problem. If this problem was given in the last year, so definitely the student should deserve at least 15 marks, because this is the calculation valuation only for the plot. Now just one step is remaining, valuation of the building. Okay, because I have asked what should be the valuation of the property. Property means valuation of the building plus valuation of the plot. It is the valuation of plot on land and building method. Now let me delete. Let me,
Here, what did you
bolo.
recommend as a fair value of a property?
Yeah, property. In the previous problems, one problem first and second, it was mentioned that only the details of the land was given. But in this problem, you see, I mentioned it consists of an old two-story building. So there must be some sorts of valuation for the building also. So property, as I've asked for the property means valuation of the entire thing, means land and building. But for the first two problems, it is asked valuation of the land, because there is no figure was given in respect of any building. So we must consider that only the valuation of the land was asked. But here I have mentioned. So now let me delete this thing. One step is remaining. We must write that prime construction cost. Prime construction cost of building equal to, the rate has been given, the area of the cubical content has been given as 2840 meter cube. You see. And rate has been given as rupees 5,000 per meter cube. Should be rupees. Huh? So 2840 into 5,000. What is the figure? It is coming. How much?
Sir, 142 into 10 to the power 5.
One, তার one, 4, 2, 1, 2, 5, na? 3, 4, 5. Means 1 crore 42 lakhs. Yes, this much. Prime construction. If I am going to construct a new building, it will be the cost. But the building is very old. And specifically, it is mentioned in the problem that you must consider what is mentioning that uh, allowing 10% old materials value only for the building. So it is mentioned in the problem that you consider 10% of the value of the building as the old material value. Now you must write here, show 10% of the same equal to 10% of 1420000. So we will be getting rupees, এটা তো লিখে ফেলতে পারবো 142 1 2 3 4, this much. Maybe business scrap value. Okay. Now total value of the property. What is the value of the land? Just we calculated 64 lakh something
Yes, sir.
or 65. কত বলো?
65 lakh 6510253.
10253 plus this much 142 1 2 3 4 40. How much it is coming? Oh, হ্যাঁ কত আসছে তাহলে যোগ করলে? Rupees
7930253.
253. Okay. This is the value of the property. Okay. So only difference in this problem is that in addition to the land valuation, we'll have to add the valuation of the building. Okay. So on the next day, we'll this much. This is the main crux of building method. Next day, we'll be doing that comparison method, and thereafter we'll be doing some problem, which will be a little bit typical. Some problems on the basis of the rental method, some on the basis of the land and building method, some combination of both. Okay, and thereafter, after another 2 classes, we'll be switching to your syllabus is valuation, pricing, and contract. We'll be switching to contract. That is also very important. Thereafter, at the last, we'll be doing this pricing. Okay, so I'm hopeful that by I'll be going to the medical hospital on 5th of March, and as per the advice, if everything is going well, then from the third week I'll be trying to join university. But of course, that time also uh, at least 1 or 2 students should help me from proceeding from my car to the classroom. And that time I'll be requesting other teachers also so that I can take the classes in the ground floor. Because vertical I can move right now. And it will be taking another 1 or 2 months additional. Okay. সিঁড়ি দিয়ে ভাঙতে আমার এখনো কষ্ট, হয়তো horizontally I can move. Okay, let me try. Okay, so this much for today. Again, next Saturday, for the next chapter, we will be doing on the comparison method. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.